Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are going to go live on Facebook, and we are live on Facebook. I'm gonna be saying a meditation on this morning as it's 10:52 a.m. in the morning in the Hawk Island, Montreal. Go Habs, go! It takes two to tango. You want Dragon Zero? Yours truly auctioning this Habs ad for tickets for the Habs games, local tickets when they play in Hawk Island, Montreal. So I'm gonna sing this song. Go Habs, go! It takes two to tango. Dragon Zero, cheers for you all. Go Habs, go. It takes two to tango. Go Habs, go. Dragon Zero, cheers for you all. I'm gonna sing Go Habs, go. Dragon Zero, go, go. Got your yo. Good victory, good victory. Please give 10% for women's sports leagues, those because you're multi-millionaire athletes. If you make million, give 10% for food security and also give to women's sports leagues. Because, of course, our sisters and yours truly, who is androgynous, pansexual, a man, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a man, I'm a hell of a woman, and a hell of a man. Double trouble, water, fire. Universal spiritual teaching student who is now perfect, far from a guy. Got some issues, got some vices, an independent athlete, independent activist, independent artist. On this morning, I'm grateful, thankful that my rent has been fully paid my rent for October. Of course, paid my electricity bill. I'm gonna say a big thank you to the big dragon hugs and kisses, because kisses got by the plenty with some brain and some muscle and some hugs with that. Gonna send to the workers of the Hydro Quebec, past, present, and future. Gonna credit you big dragon hugs for the future. Votre dragon arc-en-ciel de la belle province, nous avons l'amour pour les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec. Du passé, du présent, puis dans le futur, je vous crédite des câlins et des bisous dans le futur. I'll spit a little bit of French since, of course, I am a philosopher, an artist, an activist, of course, and here in a Quebecer in North America. North American, many past lives, many incarnations, which is one of the topics which we'll cover today. Reincarnation, incarnation, reincarnation. As a believer in reincarnation, I've been incarnated right here in Montreal. I've been born on the island twice and off the island, of course. In a past life, I helped Louis save, push some of those big horses on a cart. Cheers. Welcome to this morning cup of coffee. Coffee with yours truly, Dragon Adrian Hana Dragon. It is 10:55 a.m. in the morning. The stock market has been open for what, 93 minutes, for 93 minutes. Buy, sell, trade, stocks, futures, options, puts. Please, 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 if you make a million on the stock market today, buying, selling, trading commodities on that Wall Street, please give 10% of every million to food security, because everybody gotta eat, even Wall Street, because everybody gotta eat, even Wall Street, because everybody gotta eat, even Wall Street. I'm grateful, thankful that my rent is paid in full, fully paid my rent, and my electricity bill is paid in full, and that I am utilizing clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy to do this video, to record this videos, my philosophies, and put out my call to all in the public, and open for business in the public as an independent artist, independent activist, independent athlete, AAA athlete, activist, artist, and whatever. Sometimes the first as an artist when I rap, when I sing, when I create songs as an artist, or as an athlete when I work out. You don't work out, Dragon. Multi-millionaire athletes try to work out my workouts, and of course I'm proud to have created my own workout training program. Right here is 10:56 a.m. in the morning. I'm grateful, thankful that my rent's paid. I got electricity clean. I'm utilizing clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy to do this video right here. Clean, zero pollution energy that I'm utilizing to do this video right here in this underground room office and temple. It does not pollute whatsoever. Zero pollution, zero emission energy that I'm utilizing to do this video. And I'm sending love out there with consent. Everything I'm gonna blah blah within the next hour or so, more than an hour. We go overtime because like the place 3 in hockey NHL is periods. Each period has 20 minutes, so do the math. 3 times 20, that's 60 minutes is an hour, just like in football, gridiron, North American football, CFL, Canadian Football League, NFL, National Football League. They also got 4 quarters. Each quarter got 15 minutes, so do the math. 4 times 15, that's an hour. But we're gonna go over time a little bit in the intellectual, philosophical, gratitude, and meditations, as we also go over time when we work out, train, exercise, and that's a fact. That's Dragon Way. Open for business, yours truly, triple vaccinated. Please increase in hygiene in public, because when we step in public, We got microbes, germs, bacteria. We got bacteria, microbes, germs. We got bacteria, microbes, germs. And we need to disinfect our hands. So wash your hands with soap and water, hand sanitizer, soap and water, hand sanitizer, or hand sanitizer. Those disinfectants, which can be very effective for the cleaning of the hands. It's 10:57 a.m. here in the morning. Of course, Habs are gonna play tonight. Go Habs, go! But out of town, this is Hockey Town, Montreal, Hawk Island. Of course, HAWK, Hawk Island, because I seen a hawk a few years ago, and the hawk, of course, during a storm, the clouds cleared, and the sun rays pierced, and it kind of shone on the hawk and myself, and the other hawks flying above it. And one of the hawks came down and kind of looked at me eye to eye, and it says kind of communication in a more spiritual, mystic way. It said, "This is Hawk Island, and I am flying above y'all." And I said, "Damn straight, no problem. Yes, sir, yes, sir." So since ever then, that has been the name Hawk Island. And looking from Montreal, which is a big island, surrounded by a big river, my hometown, home place for many years now. In the heart of it is the Mount Royal, which is the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. Dawe is Mount Royal. Just three peaks of the mountain system: Mount Royal proper, Outremont, and Westmount. Westmount. Y'all giving what y'all eating this afternoon, lunch, for breakfast. Westmount, of course, is more affluent, most economically speaking, financially, commercially, not necessarily by merit or karma or talent, but there is, of course, merit and karma or talent. But a lot of the richest wealth is inherited second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and more generations from the dating back to the 1800s. Some of it, of course, houses passed on to generations to generations. But anyways, anywho, digressions aside, this is the cup of coffee continuing part two with my dream, which is the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. But before do continue and call to all willing, loving supporters, volunteers to support in any way capacity. Transcript, right, Dragon Army, east, west, north, south, where do you go, roundabout? Give me an army of my bots, dragon bots, because I don't got bots, and I'm connecting with my parallel self, where science innovation is a parallel life, and I got some brain and some muscle, but I'm not perfect. I'm looking for willingly loving volunteers, supporters, volunteers, and of course family. Pledge your allegiance, pledge your allegiance for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, which is my dream. But first, before I go into my dream, which is manifest, or is kind of like in a symbiotic synthesis and concise ways presented as the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, of which am the androgynous pansexual founder thereof. It incorporates my philosophies, my theories, my experience as an independent athlete, artist, activist, independent psychological analyst, and theorist, with my own shortcomings and my own vices and lusts and my own XYZ factors of the subconscious, which we have subconscious biases and subconscious fears and irrational things that are part of us. And of course, they're part of us to be accounted and taken action, because action is required for my own healing and recovery. Action has been required, and changing habits and transforming and putting some rules and discipline into XYZ factors, such as, for example, watching adult movies, aka PORN, porn, which I still do. Don't need to spy on me. CSIS, RCMP, NSA, CIA, Mossad. Stasi. Well, the Stasis are gone after 1989 in November 9. MI6 for KGB, FSB, now for KGB, now FSB, former KGB, FSB, whatever, XYZ. But I did put a discipline in the past months, and I've been holding to that discipline, a regulation, a rule, a sort of principles. I said I'm only going to watch pornography during the weekends. So the Sabbath of the Dancing Goddess. So after Friday at midnight until I'm free to watch between Friday at midnight, which is Saturday officially, until Sunday after 3 p.m. or around 3 p.m. the Sabbath of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, which begins tonight in a few hours. In about 15 hours, the Sabbath begins. But before the Sabbath, I'm going to philosophize, work out, train, exercise, write poetry, maybe knocking on some doors, of course, for my continuing, of course, knocking on doors to build opportunity, because I am open for business, and I am an independent athlete, the people's athlete, calling all to support my theories and principles to be put into action, taking some action. Action, of course, has been required in my own healing, in my own transformation, in my own recovery. Action has been required in my own recovery and healing. Action is required on different levels, whether we take action on a personal level, which for my own recovery and healing, action has been necessary. necessary component in parallel with philosophy, some brains and some muscle, because my brothers and sisters, it does take brains and muscle for us to maintain, hopefully, because we build civilization by some brains and muscle, right? It is things we meditate like this here in Quebec, North America. We got Hydro Quebec. Thank you, love you, kiss you, big dragon hugs, big dragon hugs. And by the way, today with consent, mutual understanding, and hygiene, hug like you never hugged before. Today with consent, mutual understanding, and hygiene, hug like you never hugged before. That's my message, main message of everything that I'm gonna philosophize today with consent and hygiene. My allies and armies, which are de facto my family, all my fans, supporters, allies and armies are de facto my family. All my allies and armies, de facto supporters are my allies and armies. De facto allies and armies are my family, my family, my family. And yours truly, Adrian Hanna, Dragonborn, Adrian H. Dragon, who died during COVID. As I'm being reborn as Adrian Hanna, Dragon, yours truly androgynous. Pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, calling all willing to support in any way capacity of implementation of my theories known as CIT, Citizen Integration Theory, Death Fusion Theory, and Democratic Fusion Theory. That trinity of theories, the trinity, CIT, DRT, and DFT, Democratic Fusion Theory, Death Fusion Theory, and Citizen Integration Theory, to be implemented this trinity of theories via the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is love, and love is also action. But if it's just blah blah blah, it does only halfway. Can only go halfway with the blah blah blah, with the XYZ, right? We need some bread, we need some butter, we need some bacon. And my universals, I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. I don't claim to have all the answers. Some things I don't know. I live the mystery. I know from my own experiences and spirituality, glimpses and sparks of my own past lives and reincarnation. One funny one, when I laugh whenever I remembered it, when I was here born in Montreal, and I've helped Louis Cyr across. We were somewhere near Montreal or one of the smaller villages in Louis Cyr, and he was strong, man. I said, "Wow, c'est Louis Cyr, ça là. On va aider Louis Cyr. Il dit, venez aider les gars, on va pousser ces chevaux-là, il faut les pousser dans le camion." C'était pas un camion, mais it was une calèche. It was une calèche. It was une calèche. Il fallait les pousser comme vous, on les a poussés jusqu'au bord, au bout. So we started, we pushed the horses. That's also a funny memory. Other not so pleasant memories, other good memories of past lives, past incarnation from ancient Egypt by the Nile, ancient India by the Ganges, Euphrates, ancient Sumeria, Danube, ancient Rome, right here by the Rio Grande, down south in Brazil, before Bolivar, Simon Bolivar, down in the Central America, and of course in North America, many past lives, many reincarnations. Right here on this 14th of October, calling all willing to love, as yours truly, the philosopher for the collective North American civilization. I'm a philosopher and geopolitical analyst and theorist, as my theories, I believe firmly and foremost in my theories, the implementation of my theories with 100% without any doubt, although I have some doubts in other things, other circumstances about my theories, about there's no doubt about my path as an independent athlete and the creation, of course, of my own workout training program, which was paradoxically created, made, and designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, and is officially called General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army Workout. And to discuss it, because it's a matter so passionate and it's in the brain and it's in the heart, you don't see yours truly as a philosopher artist reading too much from a piece of paper, although I do write philosophies, and many of my philosophies and theories are written in a piece of paper and pieces of paper, as I've many years of struggle, been depressed, been suicidal. I've been depressed, I've been suicidal, I've been depressed, been suicidal, I've been rock bottom. Now I'm struggling economically, financially, commercially, but I'm open for business, for commissioning, for financing. For years, I've been doing a lot of work on YouTube, online, and a lot of things. It's been a struggle, it's been a struggle. Maybe I'm struggling every day with certain components of my own nature and philosophies. And for example, I'll give you a concrete example. As much as a philosopher, intellectual, cosmopolitan thinker I can be, I'm also a cultural person of the physicality. Because my spiritual philosophical is that this body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. And how do we invest in the body? Invest in the body by working out, training, exercising. That's how I invest in the body. By working out, training, exercising. And I wish I could afford a massage therapy session. I cannot afford a massage therapy session. I'm looking for volunteers, volunteers, and XYZ. Cannot afford one. It's expensive. It's pricey. At the moment, I got a budget, cannot afford X, Y, Z. That's why the Dragon Army to be for service and security of the 21st century. Based on my philosophies and complementary with the Dancing Goddess Army. That's his body, at least for me. I don't know for you, or for X, Y, Z. I'm speaking from me and those who want to be my willingly loving allies and armies, who are de facto family. If not, my social media policy and X, Y, Z is show love or move along. Show love or move along. Show love or move along. That's it, that's all. And I fight my own battles. We can go one on one, put gloves, boxing gloves on. You can go on a ring, put boxing gloves anywhere, anytime in this North America, coast to coast. On boxing in the boxing ring, put gloves, or freestyle battle rap. I'm gonna start by rapping for the farmers, cause everybody gotta eat, even Wall Street. I'm gonna start by rapping for the farmers, cause everybody gotta eat, even Wall Street. I'm gonna start rapping for the farmers, cause everybody gotta eat, even Wall Street. And you'll excuse me because I'm doing laundry. Put another set, so I'll be excused for a minute. But first, before I do proceed, I gotta say that we can, of course, I fight my own battles. Can put on gloves, go with rules and regulations, get a referee, refs, put in, go in the ring. We can dance, freestyle dance battle, put a referee, public arena, whatever X, Y, Z, and we can freestyle battle rap. That's fine. Spirituality, we can have intellectuals, academics, X, Y, Z to discuss my theories. Discuss, of course. You might ask personal questions, I can respond as or say, X, Y, Z. But I would say that it's more to present not about me as a private citizen, because I do have vices. I do recognize them. I admit I watch a little bit of porn. I admit openly, XYZ factors. I'm androgynous, pansexual. I am a universal spiritual teaching student because I have a lot of questions, but I do say the word goddess, and he's the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, baby. He's the Emperor of the Dragon. It's the dancing goddess kingdom and vice versa. It's one. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, that's my dream. That's the one. I do say goddess, and goddess, GODDS, is all around. She dances with her brother sun to make all fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters, farmers, kiss their hands and their behind. Farmers harvest first to make, upgrade, and build civilization. Because everybody got to eat, even Wall Street. Please, if you make $1 million on stocks today, buy, sell, trade, futures, options, puts, options, futures, commodities, prices, short selling, short stocks, buy future contracts, oil, petrol, buy, sell, trade stocks, penny stocks, black rock, Mr. Fing. Wall Street got to eat what you have for lunch. Buy, sell, trade, everybody got to eat, right? For me, food security is first and foremost. You have food security, housing, and transport. To secure those three, that's the call of the Dragon Army. And after we secure the three essential elements of civilization, hopefully we begin upgrading civilization by. Because if you want to maintain and harmonize civilization with nature, to go for the upgrading, we're gonna have to harmonize and bring in equilibrium, nature and harmony. And civilization has its discontents. I'm not totally joyous all the time. I'm not totally in a good mood. I've been depressed. I've conquered depression. Suicidal. I've been there. It's especially for my. I've been out for a few years now. So as the LGBTQ youth, if you're not out in the open, then it's dragon loves you. Rainbow dragon, the big red booty loves you. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. We gotta love his action. My philosophy is channeling and sublimating the anger, the violence, and the force, my brothers and sisters. Violence and aggression, we gotta channel it, sublimate it. Do push-ups, do squats, do workout, do train, do exercise. Channel the aggression. I admit I have aggression. Especially when I rap. I rap for the farmers, truckers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, yeah. In those steel-toe boots, with a salute. In those steel-toe boots, with rainbow, we salute. With a rainbow, but we salute. The farmers, truckers, butchers, bakers, all involved in the production and distribution of food. To build civilization, we need food. We needed food, some brains and some muscle. Brains and muscle is required. Thinking about all my brothers and sisters now. And the farmers across the collective North American civilization, sending big dragon hugs. Toutes les fermiers de la belle province, je vous aime, câlin, bisous, ça j'ai à offrir. That's what I have to offer. Some brain, some muscle, philosophy, art. Art is poetry, and lots of hugs. Hugs I got by the billions, kisses I got by the trillions. Some raps and that. That's why you can say, I don't know, I don't want anything. No, I don't want no kisses. I don't want no hugs. Well, then we ain't got nothing in common, man. You want kisses, you want hugs, you don't want dance, you don't want art, you don't want to work out, you want to kiss, you want hygiene in public, you want to rap, you want to F-U-C-K freely, consent, 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 hygiene. Freedom is a double-edged sword. Freedom is a double-edged sword. Freedom is a double-edged sword, man. I admit, with my tiny hands, me, I a dragon. Queen of Spades once a week. The Queen of Spades once a week. The Queen of Spades once a week. My tiny hands. I'm not gonna live this sword of freedom by my solo. I admit, by my solo, I cannot live this sword of freedom. It's too heavy. It bears two edges sharp, motherfucker. One responsibility, the other liberty. Who admits a lot of things. Admits a lot of things, man. You guys 6'6", 360 pounds, spent 13 years in the NFL. He survived 3 concussions, and he is survived 3 concussions, 13 years. You know, he's 6'6", 360, and yet he is perhaps afraid of a tiny little spider. I give that analogy because of the irrational fears, the subconscious, which we have for XYZ factors, the fears, the blah blah blah. That give the analogy of an NFL player, former NFL player, retired last year, response, Dragon, I saw your workout, I'm like, goddamn, Gridiron, you can move, you can probably throw some football, probably throw some skills, can have got you as a good trainer there on the sidelines for offense, defense, with a playbook, Dragon playbook. So he comes in my underground room out from Temple, we live stream, do a little bit of play, do a little bit of football, watch some of his videos as his tackles as a defensive players, sacks, whatever it is, blocks as a defensive player. He's 6'6", 360 pounds. 13 years in the NFL, survived 3 concussions, and starts screaming and running out the door at one point. So why are you screaming? Why are you running out the door at one point? Why are you screaming? Why are you running out of the door? Say, why? We come back. What's the matter? He says, you got a spider in your room. You got a spider in your room. See, where? I go see a small spider. He's 6'6", 360 pounds. 13 years he spent in the NFL. 13 years and survived 3 concussions. Yet he's got arachnophobia. He's afraid of a tiny, small, black and gold and red spider in my room that's barely my thumb. How irrational can that be? How irrational? But if we have irrational fears, irrational subconscious forces, right? I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. I'm a teaching student. I say the goddess who dances with her brother the sun, but in the face of the goddess who dances with her brother the sun, I'm a piece of dust. And that's the dance of the Moses' sister Miriam. That's the dance of Moses' sister Miriam. That's the dance of Moses' sister Miriam, whom I met in a past life, in past incarnations, as a woman. I joined Miriam's dance as a woman. It was an Egyptian woman, but as the story goes, of course, that they were, of course, in ancient Egypt. That was, of course, as stories 3,500 years ago. A lot of it is lost in translation, right? A lot of it is to mystery, right? The question of the lost tribes. Could it be that it's Quebecers here, Canadians, North Americans, around Europe? They said they went north. So it could be that was 3,000 years ago, right? Could be that those are descendants of the lost tribes. Those are mysteries. We are the mysteries of the building of the pyramids. I don't know how they're built. I was there in a past life. I just was a farmer giving them wheat, barley, and beer. I do know that this body is a temple divine, and that things when we eat can be a spiritual thing. To do meditations on nature, on the seasons, the changing of the seasons, the sun as a central element, right? All that light and life and heat now, because in the south it's spring and the equinox, right? Here is autumn now, but in Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, Peru, Bolivia, it is spring. But now it's 11:17 a.m. in the morning. But on the west coast, down in Vancouver, British Columbia, Seattle, Washington, and of course San Francisco, LA, on the west coast, it is minus 3 hours because we got time zones. So 11 minus 3 is 8. So it's 8:17 in the morning. They're having their, or they're still early morning. But coast to coast, the sun covers Canada coast to coast at this moment in time, USA coast to coast, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Panama, Costa Rica, all the way to Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, Chile, Peru, Uruguay, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, and the Surinames. So North America, Central America, and South. And even in, let's see what time is it in Egypt, in Cairo. Cairo time. In Cairo, it is 5:18 p.m. in the afternoon. So their sunset is yet to begin in about 93 minutes. So even in Cairo, Egypt, meaning because Cairo is close to Israel, Cairo, Egypt is close to Israel, is the Middle East, Cairo, Egypt, or the Middle East. That means that the whole Africa and all the Middle East and all of Europe still see and have some sun. All that there is covered with all that light and life and light, and he's fertilizing the black fertile earth now. Somewhere there are storms perhaps in the world, right? But all that's also spirituality. It's connecting spirituality and the divine from nature. I don't do that. I say nature, Mother Nature is the greatest artist and scientist, and there's a spirituality to it. And I'll be excused for a minute. I'm just gonna go load the laundry. I'm gonna go load the laundry because it's 11:19 a.m. in the morning, and I don't want to leave it there. I'm gonna put it to dry, and I gotta put another because I'm doing a double trouble to laundry. So you'll excuse yours truly for a minute. We'll be back in the gym. So back. Just loaded the drying machines. I'm doing laundry at the same time. So we're back with the Universal Spiritual Teachings. Yours truly, part 2 of the Coffee, My Dream, the Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon Kingdom. So today it is 11:21 a.m. in the morning. It is the 14th of October. I'm grateful, thankful that my rent is paid in full, my electricity is paid in full, and to do a meditation on the laundry machine. See the things we take for granted. How important it is to have a laundry machine. Have a laundry machine. It was built with brains and muscle. It was built with brains and muscle. Somebody built it, somebody conceived it, the mechanism, and now it's utilizing. I'm grateful, thankful that it's utilizing clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy built, and one of the energy, the electricity, comes from one of the 63 dams across this province of Quebec. One of those 63 dams. Who knows, who saw it? If you're watching this video, if you ever visited one, let me know, because I do want citizens to visit this one of the dams across this La Belle Province, this province of Quebec, because there are 63 dams, 63 63 dams across this province of Quebec, which not only give electricity that is clean, zero pollution, zero emission, renewable energy from Mother Nature, from the rivers, the veins of the goddess, built those 63 dams with brains and muscle, brains, the conception of the electricity, the cement, the strategy, the architecture, the engineering of those dams, right? It was brains and muscle, the cement, the people in steel toe boots, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions who, for more than 60 years, built those dams, because the Hydro-Quebec originated in like the 1920s, 1930s, 20s or 30s, right? But picked up in the 1950s and 60s, built more and more dams, right? I think the last one, a good question. When was the last dam? I'm going to have to write to Hydro-Quebec. When was the last of the 63 dams of Hydro-Quebec built? And can we build more dams is the question across this province so that we have clean zero pollution energy. And we also, I say we, but I consider myself a Quebecer, Canadian, North American, a world citizen, yes, but I gotta act local, think global. I'm a world peace advocate. However, I'm also somebody who admits that I also have my own issues. I get angry, get moody. I have aggression. I channel and sublimate the aggression. Two key words of the philosophy: channeling and sublimating, because we have natures and we have different flows of energy within us at different parts. Things move us in different ways. Colors can move us. Words can move us different way. Some can hear the word, it can be triggering just hearing the word black or white or brown or mathematics, right? We have the subconscious, the irrational elements within us. This is, I synthesize and I philosophize in my equation. 2 plus 2 equals 4, yes, but doesn't mean, and I do not write it in only one color, only black or only white or only red, my favorite color, or only green, the color of the dancing goddess army. But I integrate all the colors of the rainbow plus the black and the white in that equation. The two, I can write it either in red or green, whatever, plus each. If I write it the first two in green, I write it the second one in red, and vice versa. And the plus, I'm going to write it in black and white, and the equal sign, I'm going to write it in black and white, and the 4, I'm going to write one line purple, the other line orange, and the other line I can write it in pink. So I can integrate all the colors, 7 colors of the rainbow, plus the black and the white in that equation, and I do. That's why I write 2 plus 2 equals 4. The black and the white with all the colors of the rainbow together, meaning that the diversity and inclusion has to take into consideration also the skills, the competencies, the thing that we're able to do and that we can offer and to receive and to give, pleasure and purpose. Because fundamentally, my dream of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom is calling all willingly loving to support the implementation of my trinity of theories, the CIT, citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, the trinity, via the 4th dimension, LOV, love is also action. Because if it's not about love, love is action, not just blah, blah, blah. Love is action, not just blah, blah. Love is action, not just blah, blah. I want nothing to do with it. And yours truly, Adrian Hanna Dragon, androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Is not perfect, but that's my dream. And fundamentally, to summarize what my call to all willingly loving is to move towards a post-COVID economic, social, financial, poetic, spiritual, commercial, and fundamentally social new system for pleasure and purpose, fundamentally by the implementation of my trinity of theories, in order to create the 2 complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. That's the new institutions and organizations to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, to be for pleasure and purpose, and for us fundamentally by these theories and these new institutions to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, fundamentally to, of course, move us towards a post-COVID economic, social, financial, political, commercial, philosophical, even psychological and spiritual system for pleasure and purpose. Right, to have joy, to have experienced new things by the citizen integration theory, by the Dragon Army and the Dancing Goddess Army, for example. The CIT, my citizen integration theory, via the new institution to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, the Dragon Army, to be created by my trinity of theories, the debt fusion theory and the CIT and the democratic fusion theory, and to apply CIT, my citizen integration theory, with the Dragon Army, my brothers and sisters across this collective North American civilization, to see, for example, and encourage citizens to see, for example, how these dams, one of those 63 dams which give now to yours truly electricity, clean, zero pollution emission energy, for me to do this video, philosophize, and to do art, and to heat my coffee, and to do my laundry. This is clean, renewable, zero energy that I'm utilizing. How many people have seen the dams? One of those 63. So, to fight alienation by citizen integration. And with this Dragon Army on the floor, east, west, north, south, to go see how farming is done, how the farmers, with the potatoes, with the butchers and the bakers, to offer them a hug and good loving. Yeah, we love you, I love them. It's not about love, love is action. Right? We got to move us by love and by some brain and some muscle, some brain and some muscle, some brains and some muscle. LOV, love is also action, right? Move us to see how railways, railroads operate, how the docks operate, how theater in the arts, all areas of civilization. And I do have my own protocols for education for the high school and youth, even more physical education, and I have my idea and proponent for a theory to be put into practice of allowing, for example, to have every day, maybe before lunch or after lunch, a half an hour for free dance. And you have in the school where you have in one classroom or one floor or one classroom there's rap, hip hop, in the other one there's techno, in the other one's there's classic, in the other one's there's rock, in the other one's there's jazz, there's pop, and to let them go freely to go dance a little bit, get the energy, their hyperactivity or their anger or the frustration. Also, I was inspired. I heard a young high school, she's screaming. She said, I admitted, but it was good. I said, openly admitted that. I got anger issues. I swear the teacher. And then I found, how does the teacher feel? The student screams, screams. It took him on, well, she has anger. Anger issue has to be dealt with. What about a therapy to go, just scream for 15 minutes. Vendor frustration, just kick the walls. To channel and sublimate. Whether anger, whether aggression and violence, even sexuality, right? Even sexuality. We need youth, adolescents. They need to not be taught to be ashamed of their bodies. I want to hear none about that. We've got to teach our children in hygiene, consent, and good sexual education, and that the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose, and nothing to be ashamed of. For the functions, whether of a lustful nature, sexuality, sexual nature, and of course, being myself LGBTQ, and a growing segment of the population is more and more in the open about being LGBTQ. I think North America is about 6.6% for US millennials. I'm a millennial, so I'm speaking as a millennial, but of course Gen Z is even more, right? And I have these psychological dimensions because I'm an independent psychological analyst and theorist who has lived depression, have been to depression, I've conquered depression, I've been suicidal. For me, working out, training, and exercising is my medicine and therapy. I believe it is for many, while at the same time embracing all body forms, all weights with their XYZ factors. But for me, it's working out, training, exercising, losing 77 pounds. I felt good, and I'm an independent athlete, a fitness captain, and I'm androgynous, I'm pansexual. I accept my own sexuality. I practice a lot of hygiene. I encourage people in hygiene in public, and of course I am a practitioner of free love. I'm a practitioner of free love. I'm a open practitioner of free love. That's how I tangle with. If you want to love me, love you back threefold, and I fight my own battles. We can philosophize, discuss, battle, freestyle, rap. I'm gonna rap for the farmers because everybody gotta eat. Gonna rap for the farmers. Everybody gotta eat. Gonna rap for the farmers because everybody gotta eat. Even Wall Street. Please, Wall Street. If you make a million on the stock market today, buy, sell, trade, futures, options, puts, stocks, buy, sell, trade, market, stops, puts, options, commodities, futures, options. Please give 10% of that million for food security. 10% of 1 million is 100,000. Divided by 4 makes it 25,000 for food security, 25,000. Women's sports leagues, 25,000. LGBTQ youth services, 25,000, and Mother Nature. That's what I would give. I'm $10,000 in debt. I gotta pay my debt first, pay my debt first, pay my debt first. NHL, NBA, NFL, patriarchal sports leagues. Let yours truly drag into a workout, raise some funds, do a dancing in the NHL for the Dancing Goddess Army. I'm open for business. Blah 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 blah. Tra la la. I know that money, money, money. Well, I got kisses. Kisses by the trillions, push-ups by the billions, squats by the billions, marching steps by the billions. Poetry, got millions of poems, got songs, got some brains and some muscle. Got some brain and some muscle, got some brain and some muscle. I'm an independent athlete, independent artist, independent activist, philosopher, who's not perfect, who's gets moody. I wish I could afford a massage therapy session. I would go right away if my debt was paid, but I gotta pay my debt first. But at the same time, while craving a massage therapy because I'm being on a fitness journey for so many years and while I was creating my own workout training program, but I can substitute it this weekend on the Sabbath, which begins at midnight. I can put myself a good bath, hot bath, utilize clean zero pollution energy, thanks to those 63 dams, and take a bath. Take a bath to substitute because I'm sore, get muscle sore, workout, train, exercise is my medicine and therapy, and to channel and sublimate. Two keywords of my philosophies are channeling and sublimating. Whatever it is, whether sexual impulses, lust, aggression, moodiness, with a philosophy to channel and sublimate the energies, the forces, to understand them. Sometimes it's hard to understand, and it's a growing path to understand one's nature as one's own. I admit openly that some things I'm mediocre, some things I'm average, some things I'm so-so. Perhaps at other things I'm even effing useless. One time I had trouble changing a light bulb. I messed the whole thing up. I cannot lift the sword of freedom by my solo, S-O-L-O. It's too heavy. My hands are too tiny. I admit it, I admit it, I admit it. Perhaps if my sister helps, well, on a second thought, she can lift the sword of freedom by herself. Some things are hard to admit that we're dealing with. You know, we're embarrassed, we're being made shamed and shameful. So action is required. My own healing and recovery action has been required to change habits, and working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy for yours truly. I advocate for the implementation of my trinity of theories and perhaps adoption of my workout training program, maybe in the universities and schools. My workout training program, it is simple, effective, and efficient. It requires no equipment whatsoever. I am proud that I've created this workout training program which requires no equipment whatsoever, which is effective, simple, and efficient. And it's simple. Push-ups, squats, hawks, holy trinity of the general war integrated total body training system, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout, of which I'm proud to have created back in October 2019, and of which I've done and performed more than 300 sessions. When officially I've set out to do 300 sessions, now I'm doing began a new cycle, but I've officially, the 15 days ago, 2 weeks ago, on September 29th, 2022, I've successfully performed my 300 session of the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout. 300 sessions when I officially turned that A of my surname into an O. Because the motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon, not even myself. With a surname DRAGAN, took blood, sweat, and tears, and tens of thousands of push-ups, tens of thousands of squats, tens of thousands of hawks to turn that A into an O. Dragon became dragon, dragon became dragon, dragon became dragon. Rainbow dragon, but with a big red booty. So my trinity of theories, CIT, citizen integration theory, death fusion theory, democratic fusion theory, are components, the main elements that I'm calling for their implementation of my theories. The trinity of theories via the fourth dimension, love. And that's for the dream of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which is my dream, my hope, my work. Calling on all willing living to support it anywhere, any place, anytime, online, on the streets, dancing goddess and dragon kingdom. Adrian Hanna, dragon, yours truly, androgynous, pansexual, founder thereof. Calling the all to implement my theory, CIT, citizen integration theory, death fusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, in order to create the two complementary, covenant, and cooperative institutions of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, to be for service and security with consent and hygiene, mutual understanding and love, and of course with webcams, and of course can be live stream everywhere. Dragonomy, Facebook, Instagram partnership, public-private partnership, a public-private partnership, a public-private partnership. These institutions to be integrated with all institutions and organizations, east, west, north, south, and of course to be secure the three essential elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport. Food, housing, and transport. Food, housing, and transport. The Holy Trinity: food, housing, and transport. After that Holy Trinity is secured, food, housing, and transport, to offer the fourth dimension: services. Whatever services with consent and hygiene, mutual understanding and love, with calling for the application Dragon Army up 1-800 Dragon Army number. Go east, west, north, south, integrated with all existing institutions and organizations. Services with consent and hygiene, mutual. What can you do? What can I do? For example, what can I do? Well, I can read to children, I can work out, I can train, I can rap, I can clean, I can cook, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, I can carry, I can do physical work, I can do painting, I can do massaging, learn massage therapy during COVID, I can do XYZ in a loving, understanding manner with mutual consent, mutual principles, mutual consent, principle harm none, principle mutual consent, love and understanding, principle harm none, principle mutual understand, consent. All services to be offered by the Dragon Army to willing, loving allies, armies, supporters, citizens thereof, but no shame, no guilt. No. For example, helping cooking, helping with cleaning. So there's no abuse. There's be an accounting, so that a person doesn't ask three massages or a day. You gotta no abuse my dragon. We're Dragon Spitfire. We don't abuse my dragon. Dragon Spitfire. We don't abuse the dragons. Dragon Spitfire. But for example, give you a concrete example: a family, the children. They got three kids. I get they're young and they're hyperactive and they don't want to medicate them. They want to medicate them. So the Dragon Army, east, west, north, south, they said, "Hey, can you please come take my three kids? I need them to do a half an hour of jogging or doing some sport or running. Take them to go to the park to run, to play. I can use that time with my husband to cook." Sure, we got you. This is Dragon Army. What can you do for service and security? We did for service and security. Blah 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 blah. Tra la la. For service and security. Yeah, we got you. Gonna go rock and roll. We're gonna help in any way we can. Support security and service, helping XYZ. Or for example, a trucker said, god dang, I've been driving for 30 years and cannot even afford a massage therapy session. It's too expensive. Charge me $156. Types is Dragon Army here, ally supporter Dragon Army. God damn it, and use I've been driving this truck for 6 hours. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna drive another 6, get all the way from Montreal to California, Montreal, Texas to XYZ, Canada, US, Mexico, US, Canada. I'm transporting potatoes or avocados or milk or XYZ. I could use a half an hour. Somebody just give me a back rub because my back's killing me. I could use a goddamn fucking massage, goddamn fucking fucking neck rub, goddamn it, too expensive, goddamn it, what the hell's going on, goddamn it, Wall Street eat the rich. So yeah, we got you, no problem, brother, we got you. Got a good neck rub there. Oh yeah. Thanks, man. That was feel good. Let's go rock and roll. And I can drive another 6 hours. So, sort of services with consent and hygiene. Mutual understanding and love. Mutual understanding, love, consent, and hygiene. Principle, philosophy that this body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. This body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. This body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. And how do we invest? By working out, training, and exercising, and by loving. My main message today is with consent and hygiene, with hug like you never hugged before. My main message after all the philosophers now today with consent and hygiene is hug like you never hugged before today. Carpe diem. With consent and hygiene, mutual understanding, love. Hug like you never hugged before. All my allies and armies, imagine you're getting big rainbow dragon hugs. Stretch a bit. Big rainbow dragon hugs. Oh, the sun's coming out after a rainy day. So the dream of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom is of course first and foremost for North America, as I'm a philosopher, artist, activist, athlete, geopolitical analyst and theorist, independent psychological analyst and theorist, and of course a philosopher, the world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet, who has come of course to develop my own theory called the collective North American civilization, the collective North American civilization that we constitute a collective civilization, Canada, US, Mexico. Of course, and I do include the islands. Cuba is a paradox. If anybody wants to commission a lecture just on the paradox of my inclusion of Cuba in the collective North American civilization for XYZ factors. Haiti, country of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and the islands, I include them in the collective North American civilization. Canada, US, Mexico, and the islands of Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and of course the Barbados and the islands, Jamaica, in the collective, in the sphere of the North American collective civilization, the collective North American civilization that I've lectured before briefly. My theory, and I believe in this theory, that as a geopolitical analyst and theorist philosopher, that us in North America and North Americans, we constitute a civilization that has many common denominators and which has been sort of born, spawned, began with the onset of the Second World War, when Western civilization was kind of a civil war within Western civilization due to communism, Nazism, fascism, communism within Western civilization, right? Because we were part of Western civilization, a Nazi movement in Deutschland, Germany. As a matter of fact, just watched a movie in regards to post-war Germany, Second World War with Hitler and what have you. So those in the Second World War, that was the beginning of the collective North American civilization as a response and a reaction to the Second World War. And of course, the fact that we didn't fight, Canada and US didn't fight, and Mexico didn't fight, and the collective North American civilization, we formed distinct but not divorced from Western civilization. We have distinct common cultural, economic, financial, geographical. This is my policy, Dragon's policy, my brothers and sisters. It's simple, straightforward. In all things, security, prosperity, culture, economics, XYZ factors for the collective North American civilization is this. We got one border, two oceans. That way is the Atlantic, that's the East Coast, Maritimes, love you, kiss you, hug you, Atlantic Canada, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. That way is the Maritime Canada. That is the Atlantic. That way is the Pacific. That was the Pacific, the Vancouver, British Columbia, and of course San Francisco on the west coast of, and we got of course Seattle, Washington State, and of course we got San Francisco, and we got the LA, California. That way is the Pacific, that's the west. That way is the east for me, from my perspective here. East, west, west, east, Pacific, west, Atlantic, east. So one border, two oceans is my policy in all things, and I'm calling for all the supporters to implement the trinity of theories. I'm going to get a second cup of coffee. It's still 11:44 a.m. The stock market has been open for more than 2 hours and 13 minutes. So please, if you make $1 million today on the stock market, give 10% of $1 million. Please, my brothers in the patriarchal sports leagues, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. Please give 10% of what you made during COVID for women's sports leagues. Please, 10% of every million is 100,000 for women's sports league, women basketball, women's soccer across North America. Because myself, I'm androgynous. I'm a man. I'm a woman. I've been androgynous, open, androgynous, pansexual for many years now. It's not something that I am ashamed of, or that I hide, or that I am embarrassed by being a man and a woman. And as a universal spiritual teaching student, I was a man and I was a woman in many past lives, many incarnations, which I'm going to discuss briefly, and I've introduced it with that and my belief in reincarnation and incarnation. But please, there's more than blah blah blah, give 10%. But also, first and foremost, food security, because everybody got to eat, and we got to love our farmers. Our farmers love you, kiss you, dragon hug across the collective North American civilization. We got to come to a common understanding for the prosperity security now in these days, as my theories dating from October 2019 and my geopolitical analysis has been proven correct. I believe also my theories 100% with all the faults and the moodiness that I get and all the XYZ factors of my own nature and my own being that are not that perfect, far from it, and with issues and vices, got some issues, got some vices, I openly admit. For example, no need to spy on me, RCMP, CIA, Stasi are gone after 1989, MI6, FSB, former KGB, FSB, Mossad. I admit I watched adult movies during the weekend, only the Sabbath, but I put that discipline for the past months, and I've been holding for many months now to only limit to this and that time, and the rest do the work, and do XYZ, and work out, train, exercise, and write philosophy and theory, and the best poetry and the best songs of 2022, you best believe it. I'm going to get a second cup of coffee. So we are excused for maybe 30 seconds. Who wants to count? grateful, thankful for this cup of coffee this morning. It's still morning, 13 minutes. Please, if you make a million on the stock market today, buy, sell, trade stocks, make a million. That's divided by 10. 10% of a million is 100,000. Buy, sell, trade, divide that 100,000, which is 10% of a million, divided by 4. Divided by 4, 100,000 is 25,000. Give 25,000 for food security, please. Food security, because everybody got to eat, even Wall Street. 25,000 for women's sports leagues. 25,000 for LGBTQ youth sports. And 25,000 for the environment. Let's plant a tree for every tree that we cut. Sometimes trees got to get cut. We got to have a... I'm a pro-labor universal revolutionary centrist. I'm a pro-labor universal revolutionary centrist. A pro-labor universal revolutionary centrist, right? But first I gotta pay also my debt, $10,000 in debt. But if we implement my theory, debt refusion theory, DRT, we're gonna create the UE, because I'm calling for the implementation of the debt refusion theory, and I'm gonna have to go put it on another cycle. Gonna see if my clothes dry, and I'm gonna begin. So I'm doing 2 loads, so I'll be excused for another minute. This is live. Gotta do laundry. It's laundry day Friday for yours truly. Laundry day Friday for yours truly. Laundry day. It's 11:48 here a.m. in the morning. 11:48 here in the morning. 11:48 here in the morning. So we'll be back. Another cycle. They weren't dry. Usually takes a few minutes. So the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. That is my dream. What is this dream all about? Well, this dream is based on my philosophies and theories, my hopes, aspiration, my passion, which I am passionate, and I am founding dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Yes, that's my dream, and that is the more mystical appellation, the more spiritual philosophical aspiration of my dream, which is to create the 2 complementary covenant and cooperative institutions via the implementation of my trinity of theories, the CIT, citizen integration theory, the democratic fusion theory, and the debt refusion theory. So now I'm going to discuss the theories. And to implement the trinity of theories, my own theories, which have written, developed, as I spent many years struggling with some struggle. I do admit I've been depressed and suicidal. I'm no longer working out, training, exercising. Has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. Yes, I believe it is there for many. Working out, training, exercising, I believe it is for many. The medicine and therapy have been, am, and will continue to advocate for the mass financing of people to work out, train, exercise, and of course to encourage by the creation of the Dragon Army. Binational, to be just like the NHL is now really National Hockey League, it's binational, and the NBA is now really national, it's binational. National Basketball Association is really binational, so is the Dragon Army that I'm calling for the public-private partnership, encourage people to work out, train, exercise. I'm calling for the NORAD Musk Dragon Summit, of course, too. I want 300 choppers, black and red helicopters with a 7-pointed golden star on each side, and a rainbow dragon and a rainbow phoenix to be part of the Dragon Army PPP, coast to coast, Canada, US, binational. Encourage people to work out, train, exercise, and integrate across all North America for security and for service, for security and for service, for security and for service. You best believe I'm going to say LOV, hygiene in public. I'm gonna send love to the farmers, truckers, butchers, bakers, grocery store clerks. We love you, we love you, we love you. Every day flying dragon helicopters, east, west, north, south, east, west, north, south. I'm just gonna be sending love. You best believe on that level. I'm gonna encourage you to hygiene in public. Wash your hands. Disinfect your hands with soap and water. Disinfect your hands with soap and water. Disinfect your hands with soap and water. I'm gonna encourage you to LOV with consent. Give yourselves a big dragon hugs. Love you, farmers, butchers, bakers, truckers, railway workers, construction workers, firefighters, workers in the public security. Those dock workers. Love you, kiss you, butchers, bakers, cooks, all involved in the production and distribution of food. Private-public partnership is what I'm calling for the Dragon Army, and of course also the Dancing Goddess Army, which official title of the Dancing Goddess Army is the International Integrated Dancing. Integrated, that will be an all gender, all ages, all sexual orientations inclusive dance league. Sure, we're gonna have professional dancers, and please, NFL Triple D cheerleaders salaries, please. NFL Triple D cheerleaders salaries, please. NFL triple those cheerleaders' salaries, and please, my brothers, you know I love it. I mean, dancing is my favorite sport. You know that. I've been saying that dancing is a sport. Dancing is my favorite sport. I love ballet. I love, of course, gymnastics. I love football, gridiron, North American football, and hockey. I love hockey. Watch hockey, and of course, I encourage my hands in basketball. And my brothers from the heart, making so much more economically, financially, commercially than women's sports leagues. Myself, I'm in debt, $10,000 to the RBC. I cannot contribute in that, man. I can give hugs, loves, and philosophy, and call all willingly loving. I'm open for business. I'm still waiting to get a first commission for a dance, for philosophizing, for auctioning this red shirt. It's a hoodie, red hoodie, red pants, and I'm trading this for tickets for the Habs, and I'm open for business in any way capacity. I'm still waiting for that first dollar donation or anybody to commission a dance for yours truly, or a workout training to dedicate to XYZ cause, or to dedicate to XYZ cause. I'm $10,000 in debt. I've lost economic, financial, commercial. I lost money to do. Being LGBTQ, being a homo. That's something. XYZ. It happens. It's minority still marginalized, but in certain XYZ ways, and can just move forward and do what I do today. And my philosophies, my theories, my brain and muscle, and carpe diem in every day. And send love to all those really loving allies and armies. And show love or move along. Criticism, constructive criticism, propose alternative courses of action or complement in certain ways. Because criticisms, it can be XYZ factors. I admit it can be toxic. I got toxicity in myself. I'm purifying, and I'm doing every day the best I can, and I'm trying to improve in any way best I can. I practice mindfulness and practice meditation, but I'm also a physical creature. As a universal spiritual teaching student, believing in reincarnation, past lives, the divinity of Mother Nature, the mysteries of nature, of the creation, this being which is divine. I say the word goddess, G-O-D-D-S-S. I say I don't know at all. I know how to do rituals, how to do spiritual meditations, mindfulness, and XYZ, but I don't. I'm a spiritual teaching student because I'm learning every day, so I don't claim to be a universal spiritual teacher, but a teacher student. Sometimes maybe you children teach me. I love reading to children. Children teach me, and I'm an aspiring children's writer, but I'm not perfect. I get moody, get upset, and I do admit that I want to afford more bacon. Now I haven't love eating bacon, for example, and I've yet to afford on the week. I wish I could afford once a week, but I'm grateful that I afforded it last week because I found it on special half price where the prices are going up, XYZ, blah, 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 tra la la. I firmly believe in my solutions, part of my solutions in complementary with other solutions, but I firmly believe without any doubt whatsoever, like my trinity on COVID has been, is, and will be this. I am triple vaccinated. I encourage people to hygiene in public, wash your hands with soap and water, hand sanitizer, disinfect when you're in the public, in the bank, in the mall, in the grocery store, or in any place of that's outside of your private domain. From here, from my private domain, I'm sharing with the public. But I'm private citizen. In theory, I can turn everything off, close the live stream, turn everything, turn the camera off on the laptop, close my blinds, get naked, start dancing naked on Tekashi 6ix9ine music, Madonna music, or yeah, whatever music, right? Whatever music. I'm choosing rock and roll, rap, whatever the music I want. My price for a naked dance, 1 hour is 1 million on 1 penny less. 1 hour naked dance, 1 million on 1 penny less. hour naked dance, 1 million. That's my price. Gonna pay my $10,000 debt to the RBC and give half to my sister. But I am calling, of course, for the implementation of the debt refusion theory, the DRT. The DRT. What is the DRT? Debt refusion theory is my theory which I've written and concocted over many years as a student scholar of economics, finance, commerce, economics, finance, and commerce, a student scholar of economics, finance, and commerce, where I struggled and spent many years, one foot in the streets, one foot in the libraries, as I've made the libraries of the city of Hawk Island, Montreal, my second home, and the many tens of thousands of books, my friends, and I've read tens of thousands of books, philosophy, spirituality, finance, economics, commerce, religions, XYZ. I've read tens of thousands of books and written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, tens of thousands of pages of theory, some written by hand, some written, of course, in USB keys. And, of course, I've been given in the past days, weeks, and months in an oral communication manner. I've been orating them, I've been communicating them verbally, in a lecturing, discussions such as this coffee which was drank, discussing them in an oral manner, known as the CIT, Citizen Integration Theory, Democratic Fusion Theory, DFT, and the Debt Refusion Theory. The trinity of theories: Debt Refusion Theory, Democratic Fusion Theory, and the CIT, Citizen Integration Theory. The trinity of theories that I'm calling for the implementation via the fourth dimension, love. Love is also action, not just blah blah. So, what is the DRT, Debt Refusion Theory? The DRT, in order to create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, is taking all public and private debt. So, for example, my private debt, I'm a private citizen as well, but when we step outside in public, we're no longer just private citizens, we're also public citizens with added dimensions are added in the public, a responsibility, duty, and obligation, which right now is for public hygiene, my brothers and sisters. Right now, it's for public hygiene. Right now, this moment, the most crucial one is public hygiene. Wash your hands with soap and water, disinfect, hand sanitizer, because from all we know, even in Montreal, Hawk Island, Montreal, Quebec, a new COVID wave began. So we got to increase in hygiene and in public, right? In public. I'm triple vaccinated. My trinity on COVID has been, and is this. First and foremost, I do not know what caused COVID. I don't know for sure. Second, I do believe that was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, since don't know for sure, cannot rule out another possibility. Fourth dimension to that trinity is what do know for sure, without any doubt whatsoever, is that 93 days before COVID, October 2019, yours truly is a world peace advocate and independent fitness captain on a fitness journey, which continues, and a geopolitical analyst and theorist, great, super excellent geopolitical analyst and theorist, because can analyze complex dimensions and interpolations and interactions within cultures and dimensions of regions, geopolitical regions, and the spheres of the linguistics and the commercial and the antecedents of a historical nature, with the conflicts or trade agreements or XYZ factors to analyze geopolitics. I'm great at that. While I do admit that at some things I am mediocre, some things I am average, some things I am so-so. Admitting that, but I'm also great at excellent at some other things, such as poetry, the greatest living, dancing, millennial rainbow poet, because Crowley was the best ever poet, Crowley was the best ever poet, Crowley was the best ever poet. But while admitting all this, and admitting and saying, of course, that I am not without fault, but back in October 2019, have analyzed the geopolitical events which had transpired up to that point in time, namely the US-China trade war, which began by the Trump administration, and had come to the conclusion that we humanity are on a path towards another international conflagration, and so created, made, and designed the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in a neither paradoxical providential way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis, and furthermore, the situation now, the ongoing situation, some say it's World War III, and my scenario that I've created back in October 2019, as a geopolitical analyst, my scenario was a World War III. I sounded the alarm back then in October, and I said, humanity, we are again on a path towards another international conflagration. So back in October 2019, I said, what are I going to do from a practical level if my geopolitical situation, my geopolitical analysis comes out to be conclusive and true? So I said, well, if that happens, the gyms will close, XYZ, financial, economic crash, XYZ, and we'll have to increase and mobilize citizenry for general overall fitness. So I created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army workout, to go hand in hand with such a scenario, such an eventuality for an event in international conflagration, aka a World War III scenario. I have proof of work, and October 17 was the first workout training program session which I've done, and of which I'm proud to have done 300 sessions so far. 300 sessions completed. Where I officially turned that A into an O, because the motto of the Dragon Army is nobody's born a dragon. Not even myself with a surname Dragon. Took 300 sessions to turn officially that A into an O. And so, workout training and exercising has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. And this workout training program, what it does, it increases general overall fitness. My workout increases general overall fitness, You gotta keep in mind the paradox as me being a world peace advocate, still am, calling for an immediate ceasefire, but of course also being a geopolitical analyst and recognizing my own that do have aggression, although I call for the sublimation and channeling via activities, working out, training, exercising, running, jogging, doing XYZ activities, art, rapping, whatever it is, to channel and sublimate the aggression and the violence. Channeling and sublimating, whether XYZ factors, it can even be sexuality, right? If you repress, how many people are repressed out, not out of the closet, being LGBTQ? My brothers in the patriarchal sports leagues, there's one on each team. Carl Nassib has been brave enough to come in the open and then kick his ass out. I want to keep him to play, and we both love football. We both love hockey. We love the sport. I love dancing. It's a sport. I also love hockey. I can't skate but can't break. I love to watch basketball. I think it's a beautiful game, and it's nice athletics and great performances and great this and that. I love football, NFL, great around North American football, and of course there's NBAs. There's not even one in the open, but there's one on each team. I can guarantee you that in the NBA. In the NHL, there's one in the Habs who is bisexual or gay. Even in my Habs, it's not in the open. I know money, right? I understand myself, man. Blah, 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 blah. It's okay, whatever. My rent's paid. October, I'm good to go. I can work out, train, exercise, and gonna march, fly hawk, fly hawk in Hawk Island. Fight my own battles if anyone want to challenge me in an intellectual manner or whatever, in a geopolitical manner, or in a, you can put the boxing gloves, but I want to box Donald Trump first, because I've been challenging Donald Trump for years now in a boxing match in a rink on the Canadian-US border. Donald Trump on the Canadian-US border, Donald Trump on the Canadian-US border, Donald Trump. And my anonymous sister, who if I make a me, I'm gonna give her half. She gifted me great boxing gloves, great boxing gloves to fight Donald Trump. Due to those tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel. I'm not saying that I love the North America, I love you North America, because I was an American twice in past lives. As a matter of fact, 156 years ago south, 718 miles from Hawk Island, Montreal, that way, served in the U.S. Army in a past life. So I'm speaking to my brothers and sisters in the USA as well as a North American, who my policies, we got 2 oceans, 1 border. 2 oceans, 1 border. Let's get rid of the border. The Dragon Army, Dancing Goddess Kingdom, Dancing Goddess Dragon Kingdom. With the new institutions based on all the goodness that we have for a progressive way forward for the 21st century. For security and service, for security and service, for security and service. A pro-labor universal revolutionary centrism, right? For the 21st century. For pleasure and purpose and to attain harmony between civilization and nature. Take Hydro-Quebec. Thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you. Past workers of Hydro-Quebec, present workers of Hydro-Quebec, future workers of Hydro-Quebec. With brains and muscles, 63 dams were built. And not only me, I'm utilizing clean zero pollution, zero emission, zero pollution energy to do this, because it's from the hydro. My laundry is being done with clean zero pollution energy. My coffee is being utilized with clean zero pollution energy. And I'm doing this live stream with zero pollution energy. Thank you, love you, kiss you, big dragon hugs, credit you, because that's what I can offer. What do you offer? What do I offer? What do you offer? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I've been in an organization and blah, blah, does it halfway. Bureaucracy can only go halfway. I've been depressed, suicidal, hurdles, and blockages, and XYZ, and we gossip, man. We gossip. We like to gossip. Well, I admit I'm mediocre at some things. Say I effing suck at basketball. I'm mediocre at basketball. Too short, too can't jump. Blah, blah, blah. I'm good at dancing. I got other things. I got some things to offer. Philosophy, brains, and muscle. My trinity of theories. My dream I'm offering. I'm offering my dream. I'm offering my dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom dream. Dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom dream. The dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom dream. Which is my theories, based on my theories and my philosophy. CIT, citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory. The trinity of theories to be implemented by LOV. The trinity of theories to be implemented by LOV. The trinity of theories to be implemented by LOV. Love is action. Citizen integration theory. CIT, debt refusion theory, DRT, and democratic fusion theory. That trinity theory is holy, sacred, divine trinity to be implemented via the fourth dimension. That's my dream that I want to see. To be implemented in order to create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. Two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions. The Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love party for the collective North American civilization. So debt refusion theory, taking all private and public debt, for example, my private debt as a private citizen, if private debt is represented by the letter X, if I'm X1, you're X2, and there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of X's across the collective North American civilization, right? And taking all the private and the public debt, the debt of Canada is in the trillions, in the US in the trillions, in the billions, trillions in the US, trillions, 1.3 trillion in Canada, a few trillions, 30 trillions in the US. So taking all the private debt, me 10,000 to the RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, U, X, Y, Z, whatever the number is, and of course the other ones, the other debt, the public debt of Canada, US, taking all that number, converting it to US dollars, US dollars. So converting it, making a conversion. We're gonna check now how much is the Canadian to US dollar. Canadian to US conversion. So today, one Canadian dollar is the equivalent of 72 cents US. So one Canadian dollar today is the equivalent of 72 cents today. One Canadian dollar is the equivalent of 72 cents US. So it went down. A few weeks ago, it was 77 cents. So by 5 cents, meaning that it depreciated, meaning that the US currency appreciated, gained more strength, more value versus our Canadian dollar, right? And so this US dollar, which I'm willing to put as the US dollar to, for the creation of the UE, for the creation of the UE, because that's what I'm advocating for, the creation of the UE. So this US dollar, minted in 2009, this Canadian dollar, see? Oh, correction, this US, United States of America dollar, was in 2009. So taking all the public and the private debt, if I'm represented by X represents, let's say, the private citizens' debts, all the private debt and the public debt together, public and private debt, all the number of Canada, Canadians, Canada, Mexico, North America first, and whoever wants to join beyond, even of course NATO has euros, and my Genesis 33 protocol, of course, calls, of course, Israel to join in, Israel to join in. Based on the story of Genesis 33, when Jacob and Esau, the twins, they met and they embraced and they kissed. Jacob and Esau, twins in the Bible, and they embraced and they ran towards each other. They were about to fight, and finally there was a solution, and they embraced and they kissed. And the biblical story goes in Genesis chapter 33, they embraced and they kissed after they were about to fight, about to struggle, and they said they reached a resolution, and the impasse was broken. The impasse was broken by love and sort of mutual understanding of the differences, the characters, the dispositions, the characters, the lusts, the achievements, the accomplishments, the philosophy. But that impasse was broken by that embrace and that kiss. If I'm going to read Genesis chapter 33, let's see. Genesis 33. So that's the protocol based on that verse. And Genesis 32 chapter 4. But Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. But Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. But Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. So that is Genesis 33, the resolution between the twins after XYZ had other factors of XYZ factors. Other factors of XYZ characters, dispositions, and which we have, which can break the impasse and can be in a complementary way, and not necessarily conflictual or contradictory, but they can complement each other. Just like myself admit that I am mediocre at some things, I'm average at other things, I'm so-so at other things, but I'm also great and excellent at other things, geopolitical analysis, and my geopolitical analysis and theory back in October 2019 has proven to be correct in many ways based on analysis and factors and analyzing my own dispositions and admitting my own XYZ factors. And I do have lusts, I do have some vices, I admit it openly. I'm not, uh, I'm not ashamed. I'm not to be pansexual, LGBTQ, rainbow dragon. I've passed that. I've want to pass my economic, financial, commercial impasse, and I want to love and implement my trinity of theories: CIT, citizen integration theory, debt fusion theory, and democratic fusion theory. So taking all the public and the private debt and converting it. So today, the Canadian dollar is the equivalent of 72 US cents. So this and vice versa. If a Canadian dollar is 72 US cents, that means that it is the 1 US dollar is $1.39 Canadian. $1 Canadian and 39 cents. 1 US dollar. This US dollar is the equivalent of $1 and 39 cents Canadian. So it's a difference. It used to be 130.32, so it went 7 cents. Or 130. What one was it? 134 last week. So the US dollar meaning is appreciating. So taking all the public and the private debt, refusing it, meaning converting it into US dollars and doing the conversion of Mexican peso. Let's see how much the Mexican peso is. Peso. Taking all the debt, peso. 1 Mexican peso today is the equivalent of 5 cents US. It hasn't changed since yesterday. 1 Mexican peso today is 5 cents US. 1 Mexican peso, 5 cents today, and vice versa. 1 US dollar, well, it went up a bit because yesterday was exactly 20 pesos, but today is 20.08 pesos. So 1 US dollar, this dollar, will get me in Mexico conversion to the conversion 20.08 Mexican peso. 1 US dollar will give me 20.08 Mexican peso if I change it. However, the value on the market of what I can buy with 20 pesos and 1 US dollar might be different, right? Because I can buy maybe only 3 avocados in the US with 1 US dollar, but maybe I can buy 6 or more, maybe double or maybe even triple with 20 Mexican pesos next to where in Mexico itself, right? And vice versa, depending on the items, such as maybe the oranges or whatever the market, cheese, milk, bread and butter issues. Let's say we're going to break them, bread and butter, because now these are the most important things, and everybody got to eat. Even Wall Street, please, if you make 10%, a million on the stock market today, give 10%, which is the equivalent of 100,000 if you make it buy, sell, trade, stock, commodities, future options, because everybody got to eat. Even Wall Street, everybody got to eat. Even Wall Street, everybody got to eat. Even Wall Street, everybody got to eat. Even Wall Street. Because if you make a million on the stock market, buy, sell, trade, stocks, commodities, futures, options, penny stocks, big stocks, $156 stocks, or whatever the stocks is for XYZ factors, please give 10% of 1 million if you make profit today on the million, if you made yesterday, or if you will make next week. Please give 10% for food security, women's sports leagues, LGBTQ, youth services, and the fourth dimension to that trinity for environmental issues to plant a tree. Now we're going to do the euro. Let's see the euro. Euro. So 1 euro is going down again. 1 euro is the equivalent of 97 cents US. 1 euro is the equivalent of 97 cents US. 1 euro is the equivalent of 97 cents US, and vice versa. 1 US dollar is the equivalent of 1 euro and 3 euro cents. So by 3%. So the euro has been going down in the past weeks and months, and even during COVID has been going down. It was used to be way higher than the US dollar, but now it reached parity, and now it's even going depreciating, what's called depreciation in economic of the currency, or vice versa. You can appreciate it. We can say by this inference that the US dollar is appreciating versus the euro, and the euro is depreciating, and vice versa. So that appreciation, depreciation, when we speak about currencies, comparing currencies and the conversion of the different currencies, of which there exist many in the world at this point in time. Currencies is being exchanged, traded all over North America: Canadian dollars, US dollars, business deal, XYZ factors on East Coast, West Coast, and with Mexican pesos across the collective North American civilization. And my call for the UE, based on my theory of debt refusion theory, so taking all debt, public and private debt, converting it, doing the conversion, whatever the number is in the trillions, and with that create the UE. And of course, North America, the collective North American civilization first, Canada, US, Mexico, or Canada, US first, and the currency of debt, that number in US dollars, create a new global central bank, international financial system, a world central bank, to issue a new currency, which I call the UE, which to be converted and made it part of what the US dollar is in that given day, hopefully ASAP, hopefully by this ASAP, starting in the month of Scorpio best, man, month of Scorpio best, month of Scorpio best, and I'm calling for the 7 year from November 7 to it's out of 7 years implementation of my trinity of theories: CIT, citizen integration theory, debt fusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, of which the debt fusion theory I'm lecturing and discussing now. So taking all the private and the public debt of individual private citizens such as myself with $10,000 in debt to the RBC, can't wait to get rid of it. And of course, I'm open for business XYZ, blah 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 blah, blah, blah. Debt fusion theory, DRT, public-private partnership, and create the UE. The UE stands for Universal Exchange Unit. So the U dot E dot U dot, the UE, on par to the US dollar, what the US dollar is, with a public-private partnership. My astro brother Bill Gates, please support this. My astrological brother Bill Gates, please support this. My Scorpio astro brother Bill Gates, please support this. And all public and private institutions and organizations, governments of Canada, coast to coast, in a non-partisan, pro-labor, universal, centrist manner, all willingly living citizens. I firmly believe this trinity of theories are best at this point in time to be implemented and integrated. The UE, Universal Exchange Unit, by biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometric identifiers. And of course, you can also have the currency, the new currency, but preferably digital, by biometrics with a public-private partnership. Create the UE, and whatever the number of all the public and the private debt is, with that number, credit the initial money supply, create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions known as the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, to be for security and service, and integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations across Canada, the collective North American civilization and beyond. And of course, the Dragon Army to be for security and service. Officially, the Dragon Army, International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, to secure the three essential elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport. And of course, to create it after we have debt refusion theory implemented and applied. The debt refusion theory, taking all private and public debt, whatever the number is, it's in trillions, and credit the initial money supply for the UE. Create a new currency, transnational, global, the Universal Exchange Unit, by biometrics, the eye, the voice, and the eye being unique biometric identifiers, and the UE to be the Universal Exchange Unit, and with the number in US dollars, because the UE is going to be equivalent to the US dollar, because the US dollar is still the top international, worldwide, global unit of exchange for international trade, world business, and global commerce. So the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, and whatever the number in public and private, all the debt, that number to fund the initial money supply, and then put the principal of 10%, the high margin of top 10% interest on the charge on all loans, business loans, commercial loans, mortgages, housing, whatever XYZ loans, 10% maximum, no higher than 10% as a principal, an annual interest rate. So it can be 9, it can be 9.9, it can be 9.99, it can be 9.35, it can be 8.35, it can be 7.7, it can be 3.58, it can be 4.18, it can be 7.18, 7.18, right? It can be after, it can be a number points, so it can be divided, right? It can be 9.3, 10% maximum. So that is the debt refusion theory that I'm advocating for. I firmly believe in it with all the, I got imperfections, I got flaws, I got characters, I got vices, I got lust. I want to pour me some good piece of bacon and some good liquor and some good wine. Paradoxically, I saw wine here from Québec, un vin du Québec, j'ai vu à $28. Je dis, ouais, wine, ça c'est 3 fois plus cher que le vin de la France, l'Italie, puis de l'Espagne, un vin local que je veux essayer. So wine, local wine that I want to try. I said, wait, it's 28.65, was it? A local wine from Quebec. I said, this is 3 times. I can buy 3 bottles. 1 bottle for $8.60 from France, 1 bottle at $9.30 from Italy, and 1 bottle at $8.80 from Spain. And that is, can buy 3 bottles of wines from Europe. Wow, this is $28.65, but I wanted to try, but I said I can't afford it. It's $28.65. I can't afford it. I wish I could afford this bottle of wine. I wish I could afford more bacon on the daily. I admit I do want to afford the bread bottle and try things that I never tried before, but firmly and foremost want to pay my debt and want to, of course, bigger room office and temple to work out more, to dance more, to have more books, XYZ, bookshelves and XYZ. I'm asking for my willing, loving allies and armies, pay your allegiance, pay your allegiance for that house on Westmount, which has been left for more than 7 years decrepit, desolate, and decaying, but with love, with kisses, hugs, push-ups, squats, hawks, rapping, and poetry, and xyz, everything Adrian Hannah Dragon has to offer, from working out, training, and exercising, and love is action, and the philosophies which I'm calling for the implementation of my theories, and passion, God. Well, I'm not perfect, far from it. I do admit, and I love myself some BDSM switch, but I firmly, as a philosopher, geopolitical analyst, I do firmly believe in my trinity of theories, without any doubt that at this point in time where we are, I do believe in their implementation across public and the private, to create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the international citizen integrated social security and service force. And we'll go for a third and final cup of coffee and the last rock and roll of my dream. And the last cup of coffee. Not a full cup, not a full cup, not a full cup, but enough. I'm going to say before I do proceed, thank you, love you, kiss you. Farmers who somewhere in the world, maybe in Colombia, maybe in Brazil, maybe in Cuba, in the Americas, Central South America, harvested this black coffee bean for yours truly to drink. And the truckers, or if you went by a ship, the transporters. Thank you, love you, kiss you. Farmers, maybe in Africa, in Ethiopia, Uganda, maybe in the Ivory Coast, or maybe even in Vietnam, because the country of Vietnam has risen to export and produce a lot of coffee. So somewhere in the world, this coffee, black bean of coffee coming from a red berry, was produced by the farmer. Thank you, love you, kiss you, farmer whose hands harvested, and of course the transporter who transported it, and the grocery store clerks who put it on the shelves for yours truly to drink it, to be able to philosophize and call to all and do the business, the primary business which I'm doing as Adrian Hannah Dragon, yours truly androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, which is my dream and my call to all for the implementation of my trinity of theories, known as the CIT, Citizen Integration Theory, Death Fusion Theory, and Democratic Fusion Theory. That trinity of theories, the Democratic Fusion Theory, Death Fusion Theory, and Citizen Integration Theory, to be implemented via the fourth dimension. And the fourth dimension is love. And I'm founding the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom with 718 trillions of kisses. Because God credited those trillions of kisses from the goddess who dances with her brother the sun to make and create all fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters farmers harvest for us to make, upgrade, or maintain civilization. And one kiss from the goddess of heavens trickled down and turned into all those trillions of kisses, which are credited with the condition to yours truly, Adrian Hannah Dragon, to freely distribute to all my willingly loving allies and armies. Pledge your allegiance, legions, pledge your allegiance, legions, pledge your allegiance, legions. So kisses God can make all my willingly loving allies and armies. Kiss millionaires. Got some brain and some muscle with that. I firmly believe in my trinity of theories. Encourage people in hygiene in public. Channel and sublimate the aggression. Work out, train, exercise, and share more. I'm not totally selfless as a universal spiritual teaching student. I'm not totally selfless. I try to be in the middle, in the balance. While I want to afford more bacon, I don't want to afford and get and taste that bottle of wine, $28. I want to try some more whiskey. I was reading about I get news letters from email, and I was reading about this actress. They correction, because it's like I'm androgynous. I'm a man and I'm a woman. I'm myself a man and I'm a woman. From my understanding, I wasn't aware until yesterday that they are actors, and the favorite drink, cocktail. I never tried that cocktail before. Called it Negroni. I never tried that. I don't think I did. Maybe I did, because I lost a lot of memory of my youth, adolescence, and early adulthood. I remember more the past 7, 8, 9, 10 or so years. And here in Hawk Island as an artist, struggling still economically, financially, commercially, artist, blah 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 blah, artist, athlete, the best athlete, the people's athlete. Nobody who work out like yours truly, Dragon. You work out like Dragon? How you gossip? How you slander? I admit I'm mediocre, average at some things. I admit I got vices. What do you know? Admit, yeah, we got some prejudices. Yeah, we got some subconscious factors unadmitted. Yeah, deal, take action so that we harm none, unless we challenge. Like I said, I fight my own battles. We can put the gloves on one, anywhere, anytime. box gloves on one, anywhere, anytime. If you I've offended, trigger, whatever, we can dance battle and let referee or people judge. Or we can, of course, do the tango. We can philosophize, rap, XYZ. I get moody, I get upset. I channel, sublimate the aggression. I channel and sublimate the aggression. I channel and sublimate the aggression. Channeling and sublimating. Channeling and sublimating. The channeling and the sublimation are keywords of my philosophy. So anyways, learn that they have the favorite drink called the Negroni. So I said, I want to try that. Sometimes I want to experience new things in life because I'm no longer depressed and suicidal. I want to love and be loved, and I want to see my dream come true. The dream just synthesized, summarized as the dancing goddess. And as a universal spiritual teaching student, I say that word, goddess, goddess, goddess. Goddess. The me comes. On the God, goddess side, y'all rapping God, 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 God. But y'all don't say goddess. Because when they say God, I'm going to have to balance it and say goddess as well. Goddess as well. I'm a piece of dust. I'm a piece of dust. Lusting, dancing, get moody piece of dust also. But nonetheless, when I see the hairs on the goddess's body, which are the trees, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, even 7 times my size, the goddess who dances with a bird of sun. Oh, I say. I don't know her many names, many appellations. How many names? But I guess thundered upon. Look at the sun now shining coast to coast. So much light and life and heat at this point in time. All the planets revolve around the king, my king, my king. His body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. There's a mystery as a universal spiritual teaching student, which I don't know. I can invoke chants from past lives, incarnations. Paradoxically, remember more about past lives and incarnations, where I joined as a woman was in Miriam's dance. I don't know, so I dance the best now because I've learned steps from Miriam, Moses' sister's dance steps, and of course was a priestess in many past lives of the goddess. Also served in the temple of Solomon, and of course was a rabbi in past lives. I was an Israelite. I was in ancient Rome, ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt, many past lives, many incarnations. Right here today, first and foremost, I am Adrian Hanat Dragon, ADRANHAN and HDRAGON, because I've turned that into one now. Hanat Dragon, and I'm the androgynous pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, which I'm founding with 718 kisses first and foremost, and then some push-ups, some marching steps, some squats, some philosophy, some brain, and some muscle. But first and foremost, the foundation of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is with 718 trillions of kisses. So can make all my winning living allies and armies kiss millionaires, because a trillion is 1,000 billion, while a billion is 1,000 million. So Kiss has got some brain and some muscles with that from the goddess. And I'm non-sectarian, non-dogmatic. You don't have to accept. You can be an atheist, support say, wow, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in your bullshit. Universal spiritual teaching student, God is God. I don't want to. Then I believe in science. Say science. I'm a scientist in a parallel life. Satellites, supercomputers, microchips, gadgets, ICBM rockets, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G in that parallel life. I'm a scientist. Cool, no problem. I can do in the principles. Universal revolutionary centrism. But I say, but scientists might say, but your theories are wow. Your theories could say whatever X, Y, Z. So your theories though. Your spirituality, I don't want nothing to do with it, but your theories, the CIT, citizen integration theory, to fight alienation. Wow, that's super. Yes, we have alienation since 1984, Reagan's re-election since 1984, Reagan's re-election since 1984, Reagan's re-election have this corporate, global, technocratic, financialized system which has arisen, this global, corporate, financialized, technocratic system which has arisen, which the corporate, globalized, technocratic, financial system which has arisen across the collective North American civilization and beyond the Western world. And we have alienation, and to fight alienation, citizen integration theory by the creation of the two complementary covenant cooperative institution of the Dragon Army with the Dancing Goddess Army. Citizen integration theory, wow. We got to do it in North America. We got to do it in North America. And we got to do the debt refusion theory. The debt refusion theory, where we are at this point, taking all private and public debt, refusing it, creating the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, to create the complementary covenant cooperative institutions of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the Dancing Gods Army, officially the International Integrated Dance League. To be for pleasure and purpose. Pleasure, because my favorite sport is dancing. For pleasure for the body. And purpose for environmental education and action with organizations to encourage. Just to give you a concrete example, I was checking I saw recycling, the big green bins, right? They're big, like one and a half meter, maybe one more than 1 meter. And so I was checking. I said, hey, this doesn't go there. This doesn't go there. This doesn't go there. So education and action, how we can do better recycling as an individual citizen and collectively clean. Maybe in the sports arena, stadiums, to do better recycling and compost. I compost every week. I've been involved in the compost work here a few years ago, and I've learned the environmentalism and compost, and I try to do the best practice. But sometimes we need more education in order to do better, take more action, right? In the compost, we're gonna do better recycling, and right, because some things don't go in the recycling, some things don't go in the compost. So to be the dancing goddess army, for pleasure and purpose, to make sure we do proper more recycling, more environmental, because blah 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 blah. And the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, the Dragon Army, to be for security and service, and to be integrated with all existing public and private security organizations and institutions across North America. To encourage people to work out, train, exercise, support. I want to see those 300 black and red helicopters with a 7-pointed golden star on each side and a rainbow phoenix and a rainbow dragon in it, calling for the NORAD Musk Dragon Summit. NORAD, of course, the North American Aerospace Defense, right? NORAD stands for the North American Aerospace Defense. So implementing my debt refusion to taking all private and public debt. Oh, we haven't checked the Israeli new shekel. Let's check the Israeli new shekel. The Israeli new shekel. So debt refusion theory, taking all public and private debt. Israeli new shekel to US dollars. Taking all private and public debt, refusing it. Canadian dollars convert the debt of all the citizens of Canada, public and the private. The municipalities, the Canadian national debt, the US national debt, Mexican national debt, beyond NATO and Israel. And of course, make the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. The UE, Universal Exchange Unit. Preferably by biometrics. The hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometric identifiers, and pegging it to the US dollar, whatever the debt is, the debt of Canada, US, Mexico, the collective North American civilization, NATO, and my Genesis 33 protocol, Genesis 33 protocol. I have Israel as well. As the story goes in Genesis 33, of course, that the breaking of the impasse, the resolution of the conflict or XYZ conflict, but it was by an embrace and a kisses and embrace and hugs, and a new order came about. And I'm calling for a post-COVID new economic, social, financial, spiritual, political system for pleasure and purpose. Purpose to attain harmony between civilization and nature, to attain harmony between civilization and nature, and then upgrade civilization, move towards the stars, and pleasure. For sports, dancing, pleasurable activities, massages for the body, spas for the body, loving for the body, the art of love, which I'm learning from a goddess, still learning. So one new Israeli shekel is the equivalent of 28 cents US. One new Israeli shekel is the equivalent of 28 US cents. One new Israeli shekel is the equivalent of 28 US cents. The NIS, it's called. The NIS. One NIS. And vice versa. One US dollar is the equivalent of 3.56 new Israeli shekels. One US dollar, so it hasn't changed. Last week it seems to be at par, hasn't depreciated or appreciated since last week, and 2 weeks ago seems to be pretty much on the par, the same. One US dollar is the equivalent of 3.56 new Israeli shekel. One US dollar, just the US dollar, is the equivalent of new Israeli shekel. of Israel. I was an Israeli in a past life. I was an Israeli in a past life. I was an Israeli in a past life. And it has a reputation. Uh, Israelis and Canadians, Americans go visit Israel. That is a more straightforward and direct type of culture. And take it as being rude, but it's more cultural thing. It's more being straightforward and direct, although it can be taken to be rude. A more straightforward and direct questions to be rude. And myself as a androgynous pansexual universal revolutionary centrist and philosopher and geopolitical analyst and theorist, and universal spiritual teaching student who's a scientist in a parallel life with false. And I don't know it all, and my theories, I firmly believe in the implementation of my theories across North America and of course NATO, and calling the Genesis 33 protocol for Israel, NATO, North American alliance, in this implementation of my trinity of theories: the CIT, citizen integration theory, debt fusion theory, and the democratic fusion theory. That trinity of theories will be implemented via love, just like in Genesis 33, the twins, Jacob and Esau, ran towards each other and kiss and embrace each other. The twins ran towards each other and kiss and embrace each other. The twins, Jacob and Esau, ran and embraced towards each other. Genesis 33. To implement the trinity of theories via four-dimension love and create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the Dragon Army, with the international integrated dancing to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, public and private institutions and organizations to be integrated across all public and private institutions and organizations, the international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the Dragon Army, with the international integrated dancing, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. Dragon Army to be for security and service, secure food, housing and transport, secure food, housing and transport, secure food, housing and transport. Now just with the 3 helicopters and Elon Musk giving those satellites yours truly to see NORAD, all the food where all the farmers are, all the food where it's being produced and now distributed across the collective North American civilization. Somebody's eating a sandwich now. Somebody's eating a fries now. Fries, thank you, love you, kiss you, farmers, for the fries, for the bacon, for the everything, for the cup of coffee that's being made, for a trucker, love you, kiss you, hug you, truckers, thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you, truckers, butchers, bakers, all across the collective North American civilization, thank you, love you, kiss you, hug you. And of course, secure food, housing and transport, housing, of course, and of course transport, railways, and of course highways, and coast to coast, defense, aerospace, and of course the ports. I see those 300 black and red helicopters with a 7-pointed golden star on it, and each inside the star a golden, a rainbow dragon and a rainbow phoenix, and interconnected with all public-private partnership, and of course the webcams and televised live stream all the actions and the activities of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Televised live stream 24/7 all the activities. There's also Adrian Hana Dragon of the Dancing Goddess Army, aka the International Integrated Dancing, all the work on what we implemented and integrated, and have the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions by debt refusion theory, refusing all private and public debt, all the public and private debt refusion theory, DRT, and the CIT, citizen integration theory, and the democratic fusion theory. The trinity of theories implemented by the fourth dimension LOV to have it on the ground. The two complementary institutions, the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, and live stream all the activities, where securing food, housing, and transport, where they're encouraging people in public hygiene to wash their hands, disinfect. Please, we got a responsibility now due to microbes, germs, and bacteria to wash their hands with soap and water, hand sanitizer, to encourage people in the public, as in the public, we're no longer just private, we have public-private. That's why my dream for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom is a public and private partnership, PPP, and the two complementary institutions, the Dragon Army with the Dancing Goddess Army, to be integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations. Coast to coast, Canada, North American collective civilization. Coast to coast, we got one border, two oceans. We got one border, two oceans. We got one border, two oceans. And of course, beyond, extended with our allies in NATO allies. Go NORAD. Please, Jen Stolberg, got some love for you, brother. NATO. But please say us something that we love you. Love you. As you lose me if you don't say love in the first 5 minutes. Somebody doesn't say love first 10 minutes. I kind of, LOV, love is also action. So that is my dream, the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom, which I present to you here live on. I reckon nobody's watching, but should have millions of viewers. And just to hear this message, the main message is: with consent today, hug like you never hugged before. With consent today, hug like you never hugged before. With consent today. Hug like you never hugged before, because the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose, and we can find purpose in cooperation, participation, and collaboration, and heal and recover and break the impasse and move towards a 21st century based on my trinity of theories and a pro-labor universal revolutionary centrist created to complement the covenant and cooperative institutions of the international citizen integrated social security and service force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. My universal spiritual teachings: you can be an atheist. I'm non-sectarian, non-dogmatic. I don't have all the answers, but you might say, "Well, your spirituality, yeah, I don't know. Your sexuality, that's your business. But your theories, scholar, wow, the best for this 21st century. What's needed? CIT, DRT, debt fusion theory, and democratic fusion theory. So taking all private and public debt across North America and beyond, NATO, Israel, creating whatever the number is of all the public and the private debt of private citizens. For my example, my is $10,000 to the RBC, my $10,000 plus yours, plus the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions across North America, NATO member countries, and Israel, and beyond. My brothers and sisters in the South America and Africa, the Middle East, even to create a UE Universal Exchange Unit by biometrics, probably the hand, the voice, and the eye, biometric identifiers, calling all willing, loving Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, Microsoft, Bill Gates, Musk, governments, respective governments of NATO, North America, and Israel, and a public-private partnership calling for all willing, loving citizens, my brothers and sisters, citizens, in this late hour, 21st century, with a World War III knocking on our doors, calling for the implementation of the aforementioned trinity of theories: CIT, citizen integration theory, death row fusion theory, and democratic fusion theory. That is my call to all. And please increase in hygiene in public, please increase in hygiene in public, please increase in hygiene in public, and encourage you to work out, train, exercise. And I got a second load of laundry to do, so we're gonna say au revoir, goodbye, and all my willing, loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance to our de facto family. All my willing, loving allies and armies, pledge your allegiance to our de facto families. All my willing, loving allies and armies, our de facto, my family, pledge your allegiance, love you. Kisses God, founding the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, first and foremost, from Hawk Island, Montreal, with 718 trillions of kisses. Because kisses God first and foremost, and that's the foundation of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Kisses, love, some big hugs. With that, some philosophy, some art, some rap, some poetry, and dance a lot, a lot of dancing. And some brain and some muscle, because it requires brains and muscle to building civilization, which has its discontents, myself included. Sometimes I'm upset, moody, and we gotta admit some things that we are mediocre, some things that we have feelings of inferiority, we have feelings of XYZ, I have, like, oh, I wish I could be taller. Well, I can dance, I can do this, I can compliment. And we have jealousies, myself included. Perhaps I'm jealous at Rihanna. I love Rihanna, but says Rihanna, some broke artist, I want to perform at the Super Bowl. I've been calling for the performing of the Super Bowl, dragonize the Super Bowl, dance, rap for the farmers, butchers, bakers, truckers, railway workers, nurses, doctors. So I'm gonna dance at the Super Bowl, calling to let with Rihanna, yours truly dance. There's half, I'm gonna pay my debt. If by that time we have debt refusion too, we won't have to. But of course, if we dance at the Super Bowl, I'm gonna give half to my sister, and for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, half. Maybe I'm jealous. I'm saying, you already made your millions. Let somebody else eat. Why you so selfish, man? Why so selfish? Please, if you make a million on stock market today, give 10% for food security. My brothers, multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires, support mass financing and food security, and support the implementation of my trinity of theory: CIT, citizen integration theory, debt fusion theory, DRT, and democratic fusion theory by the fourth dimension LOV, to create the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, to be for pleasure and purpose, and calling all willing loving to support, to move, break the impasse, and move towards a post-COVID economic, social, financial, political, commercial, philosophical, spiritual system for pleasure and purpose to attain harmony between civilization and nature, and for pleasure, for joy, for working out, training, exercising, for the joy for the youth, to encourage them and teach them in hygiene and in education, more physical education in the school and XYZ, not to be ashamed of XYZ, if being LGBTQ or whatever, with consent, mutual hygiene, and encourage them in good education. Love you, love you, love you. Gonna put it on. Never delete, never delete, never delete, never delete Facebook.